technology training means investments in brighter future. Grow yourself.
Do you want me to hook up the sound? That's
Can you?
www.techcore2.org.
yeah.
Right?
Go
They gotta
tell
have
him
to
you can
wait.
hook it up.
Techcore 2 and
Joel,
start giving them a brighter future today.
he's going to hook the sound up. Joel, he's going to get the sound together.
Yeah, we can do it again. That was a rehearsal, everyone. Enjoy places. Take two coming.
Well, while he's doing that, my name's Dave Lipscomb, and I am a board member too. Yes. I pulled my back about 2 weeks ago, so I'm still dealing with the residual effects of it all. And now I know how sometimes handicapped people are, especially now that I'm traveling with transportation. I had to talk to SEPTA because the elevator was out at 69th Street. I had to walk up these stairs. But getting back to being a board member, in according with that, in conjunction with that, I'm actually the Black Professional Data Associates Philadelphia chapter president, which is an organization that started in 1975 dealing with Black IT professionals. And that's how I met Joel. I met him about 20-something years ago. We were at a meeting. I was a consultant. Joel was doing his business. And what I learned about that was it was hard being an entrepreneur, hard putting all this stuff together. So somehow we got back together 20-something years later. And I really admire Joel because it takes a lot of energy to be an entrepreneur. People don't really realize that. They see the success, but they never see all the work. And like Michelle Snow said, how many people had to play, rob Peter to pay Paul? We all know that. Getting clients, going to work, making sure you have presentations ready. And when Joel started TechCore, I don't know, I guess I started about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, time flies. And what happened was I was working with Joel for some things, and then Joel said, hey, would you mind teaching some classes on a Saturday? So I started working, I said, okay, Saturdays, I get a haircut every 2 weeks here. I can't do it. That's it. So, the sacrifice, and because I do really believe in the future of our children, because if we don't help them, who will? So for that next 8 weeks, I actually did the cycle with the children, and I really fell in love with it actually. Seeing the children learn week to week, and play with the processes, all that kind of stuff. So what happened was, as time went, I think I did 2 cycles of it. My hair was looking like I don't know what, so I must have really believed in that. But what happened was, Joel said, Dave, do you want to be on the board? And I jumped at it actually, because I believe in what TechCore 2 does. I proselytize it all the time, wherever I go, because I believe that our children need to learn in the 21st century. But I failed to mention that also I'm an IT information security professional who's been doing this for 25 years. And so when you talk about AI, you talk about that stuff that's going on in the future, our children are being left behind. Our people are being left behind. And I actually see that when I look at, and I go to different companies, and I actually see, they say, oh, we're hiring, when you talk about Comcast. I actually had a couple people from Comcast come, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I've done the certification, I've got the education, but I'm still sitting here. I'm not rising. And that is something that we see across the board in IT. We see exactly what we're trying to prevent here in TechCore. You get that bottom level, and that's where you stay. If you look at Comcast, you look at a lot of major corporations, how many black people do you see in middle management? How many black people do you see in vice president level and above? You don't. You really don't. I mean, there's a minuscule of people that do know some, but it's a minuscule compared to everybody else. So what TechCore does, it gives them that chance to learn it young. On a Saturday, instead of watching cartoons or doing other stuff, you're actually learning something. I was blown away with the projects that Joel put together with robotics, the web, things like that. And we have a program with development with, I think it was with MIT. MIT. Scratch. Wonderful. So I'm not going to talk that long, but I just say that I'm excited to be a board member and also to be helping to grow the TechCore. So I give my kudos to Mr. Joel Wilson. I think my proverbial hat off to you. Thank you very much, sir. Continue to do the work that you do.
Thank you, Dave.
So this is going to be brief. I just want to share a few words. First thing I want to share with you is that in the name, the title TechCore 2, Core 2 is actually an acronym. And the acronym stands for Computers plus Opportunities plus Resources equals Employment times Entrepreneurship. And that came from my own biography. I have a computer science degree, and after completing school, I went to University of Maryland, College Park. I went straight into business. So I'm now 50, and that's the other reason for the 505, 5 years. But I'm proud to say that I've never worked for anyone my whole adult life.
That's so amazing.
And I bought homes and investment properties and cars and vacationed and, you know, I think I dressed okay.
You all right?
Yeah, I'll ask Lisa to get her opinion on that.
I upgraded
All
him,
of
y'all.
that was- All of that was 100% on entrepreneurship. So I believe in entrepreneurship. I believe it is a way that you can make it and succeed. You will avoid a lot of the complaints that I hear my peers who are in corporate America that they talk about. So you can set your own destiny. The next thing I just want to read to you, the mission statement, TechCore 2's mission statement, to develop a technology pipeline program for urban youth from kindergarten to college to career entry. And we actually do that. So I just want to go through a couple illustrations to show you. We bring kids in our program from kindergarten through 12th grade. K to 8 is skill development. We are literally teaching the kids how to code, how to think, how to be professional, K to 8. And if they go through our program, either our fall program, our spring program, they are more or less guaranteed to have a summer internship when they get in high school. So in our program, once you make it to high school, we will pay you. We've run a summer internship since 2015. That was the initial reason we started TechCore 2. When you go off to college, now with our relationship with 100 Black Men, we have scholarships you can apply for. So we have a young lady right now who's at Lincoln, who went through our program in 2016. First year to college, she got $4,000 to go to Lincoln. Second year, I don't think she got that much, but she's still getting at least $1,000 in that year.
It's more than that.
More than that, okay, more than that. If you stay local and you're a college student, we have summer employment, part-time, full-time, and then during the semesters, we have employment through our Saturday program. And then when you graduate from college, you're guaranteed to have references, credible references in your field. You may not know this. One of the things I've discovered dealing with Temple students, the engineering students, probably half the students that went to Temple got an engineering degree, never interned. That meant their degree was worth 20, 30, 40% less than their peers. So now in TechCore, you work with us, you are guaranteed to have a good reference that you can use both to get a better internship and when you go into the workforce. So when I look back at our college students who work for us and where they are now, I look at, cool. I look at Brandon Bessette, graduated Temple 2 years ago, civil engineer, construction management. He's working at one of the major construction companies here. I'm looking at Damon Delbridge back in Virginia. He's an industrial engineer at the United States Postal Service. I'm looking at Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi is a mechanical engineer here in the city of Philadelphia. The list just goes on and on and on. There's no one that comes through our pipeline and they are unemployed or not making good money. I look at the very first person we hired as a Saturday instructor, Frank. Frank is from the Cameroon. Frank is an engineer at Amtrak. They relocated him into Connecticut. I bumped into him on Amtrak when I was in Harrisburg. I had to go up there for business. And you could just see that this young man back in 2016 was a senior at Temple. Now he's graduated. He's given back to TechCore. And you can see it. It's real. It's real. So,
I wanted to add something to that.
you want to add something to that?
I did want to talk about the students going through the pipeline. My son Christian, who just spent 3 weeks at John Hopkins Center for Talented Youth, he started his Saturday coding program right there in TechCore. He's now an 8th grader at Milton Hershey School, and he is aspiring to be an engineer for next.
All right. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right.
And and this will be the last thing I'll say, and I'll get off. One of the things that what I'm attempting to do is to illustrate and model to young people that the number one thing, the number one talent and skill that black youth have, it is not being an athlete. It is your brain. Your brain. You can pick any athlete you want. And I can point to you someone who is a software engineer or an entrepreneur in the tech world, and they dwarf them. LeBron James is probably the most paid, highest paid athlete, professional athlete we have. I think he makes like $50 million a year. Well, we compare him to Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg is worth $50 billion. He employs like 50,000 people. If we really want to transform our communities, athletics is great. I would never discourage anyone. If you're born with that talent, go get that check. But the majority of us are not. And the only reason we have the skills we have is that we put so much time into it. If you played basketball 10 hours a day for 12 years, you're going to be good at it. Well, guess what? If you do biology 10 hours a day for 12 years, you're going to be thorough at that. And if you want to go to med school, it'll be no problem.
Right.
The average dentist makes more than the average basketball player. The average software engineer makes more than the average professional basketball player. So these are real transformative careers that we can do, and all you have to do is put some time into it. One stat, 70% of high school students who apply to an engineering program who have the actual prerequisites, the math and the science, they get in. 70%. We don't understand that as a community. We think it's so difficult. You put the work in when you're young and you can get there. So that's all I want to say. I'm very appreciative folks have come out. Our classes start this Saturday, so you can still sign up. We have special coupon codes for the folks who came out tonight. You get $50 off our class. So instead of it being $150, it'll be $100. It's only good for 24 hours. So you got to 8 o'clock tomorrow to use those coupon codes, and they will be sent out to everyone who registered on Eventbrite. You'll get that coupon and be sent straight to your email. And I just want to say thank you for coming out. I'm very appreciative, and we're about to play the video.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
There's no sound.
Let me see if I can get the guy real quick.
But the pictures look nice. I recognize some of those people. Tech Corp. As we were talking about that, Joel State was talking. It was interesting. I was talking to this was Michelle, but I didn't know who the acronym